All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're taking a trip to the heart of Southeast Asia, into a world where ancient spirituality, incredible culture, and modern economics all collide. We're going to focus on Thailand and the massive role it plays in the world of sacred travel.
So this whole explainer really boils down to one big question. What actually happens when centuries of faith and tradition run up against the powerful forces of modern tourism and economic growth? It's a really fascinating puzzle, and the pieces are constantly shifting. You know, when you think about Southeast Asia, it has always been this incredible crossroads, both geographically and culturally. It's home to some of the world's most revered spiritual sites, and now those very same places are becoming huge destinations for travelers from all over the world.
So, to really get what's going on, we first need to zoom out a bit and look at the bigger picture of these sacred journeys across the entire region.
And look, this isn't something that just happened overnight. For centuries, Southeast Asia has been this amazing tapestry of different cultures, beliefs, and traditions. Buddhism, for instance, showed up way back in the 1st century, and it's been woven into the very fabric of society ever since.
And just to give you an idea of the scale we're talking about, it's huge. I mean, out of the 10 countries that make up ASEAN, the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, a whopping 6 of them are major hubs for Theravada Buddhism. It's a massive spiritual force in this part of the world.
And right at the very center of this whole spiritual landscape, one country really stands out: Thailand. So let's zoom in and figure out why it's considered the region's spiritual core.
Okay, a quick bit of background here because it's important. We're mostly talking about Theravada Buddhism. It's the oldest school of Buddhism that still exists, and its traditions and teachings are pretty much the foundation of religious life for millions of people here. It influences everything, from how you start your day to huge national festivals.
And wow, Thailand is home to some of the most absolutely spectacular sites. I'm talking about places like the incredible Temple of the Emerald Buddha in Bangkok, or the ancient ruins of Sukhothai. But here's the key. These aren't just tourist spots. They are living, breathing centers of worship and pilgrimage.
I love this quote because it just gets right to the heart of it. It's talking about a temple in Chiang Mai called Phra That Doi Suthep. And for pilgrims, the physical act of climbing that long serpent-lined staircase, that is part of the spiritual experience. It's what drives people to go there.
Okay, so let's zoom out again. Because all of this incredible spirituality, it isn't happening in a vacuum. It's actually a key part of a much bigger plan for regional economic cooperation.
You can see a really clear story unfolding here. ASEAN started back in '67 mostly as a political group to keep the peace. But then the Asian financial crisis hit in the late '90s, and that was a huge wake-up call. The focus shifted big time toward economic integration, which eventually led to the creation of the ASEAN Economic Community, the AEC, in 2015.
So what's the game plan? Well, it's all built on these 4 pillars. Think of it like this. A single market means a tourist from, say, Singapore can easily book a trip that includes a stop in Thailand. A competitive region encourages local businesses to offer really unique cultural experiences to stand out. Equitable development tries to make sure the money from tourism actually helps local people. And full integration just makes it easier for everyone from around the world to visit the whole region. It's all about making these 10 separate countries act like one economic giant, with tourism playing a starring role. So, what does all this high-level economic talk actually mean for the average person on a spiritual journey? Well, for one thing, it means borders are starting to blur.
I mean, for centuries, these pilgrimage routes have basically been the arteries of the region. They're how ideas, stories, and beliefs flowed from one place to another, creating this shared heritage that's way older than any modern border. And you can see this happening all over the place today. You've got Thai pilgrims heading to the stunning Shwedagon Pagoda in Myanmar or to the massive Borobudur Temple in Indonesia. People even travel across borders for huge festivals like Songkran. The whole region really becomes this giant, interconnected sacred map.
And this right here, this brings us to the real heart of the matter, the big challenge. With all these people and all this money moving around, you have to strike this incredibly delicate balance between faith and commerce.
Yeah, this slide really shows you the 2 sides of the coin. On the one hand, tourism is great, right? It creates jobs, pumps money into local towns, and that money can even be used to help preserve these amazing sites. But then there's the other side: pollution, overcrowding, and the very real danger that these sacred places just become another product to sell. It's a tightrope, and everyone's trying not to fall.
It all comes down to this really tough question. At what point does a temple stop being a house of worship and just become another stop on a tour bus itinerary? Where do you draw that line?
So where do we go from here? Let's take a look at what the future might have in store for this delicate balance.
You know, the future isn't some far-off thing. It's already starting to happen. People are looking for more personalized journeys, not just a generic tour. You've got new tech like virtual reality that could let you see these ancient temples as they were hundreds of years ago. There's also a huge push for more sustainable travel. And maybe the biggest challenge of all, how do you keep these traditions alive and meaningful for younger generations?
Which leaves us with one last, really big question to think about. In a world that is more connected and easier to travel than ever before, the challenge isn't just about making money. It's about figuring out how to share these incredible places without destroying the very sanctity that makes them so special in the first place. How do we protect what is sacred?